reader. Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Whoa, I didn't know it was behind there. And welcome. No, I've already said that. See, I'm all scatterbrained now. But yeah, welcome. This is my first video of 2024, which is so exciting. I'm so excited for what BookTube will bring this year for me and my blogging in general. Today I'm going to be doing a video about bookish red flags. I was inspired by a couple of Instagram accounts. I'll pop them up here, Ashley Goodreads and Sav's Books. They just made me laugh so much because I related to so many of them. And to be fair, I feel like my toxic trait was I didn't see them as red flags. So I've scoured the internet, mainly on Instagram, and found people's bookish red flags, and I'm put them in a random list. I'm gonna go through them and see if I relate to any of them. Make sure you comment down below if any of these are your red flags and if you have any that aren't in the list, and let me know if you like this content because I can always make more bookish red flag videos. But yeah, here we go. Okay, so number one is buying a physical book but reading it on my Kindle or audiobook. I am guilty as charged on this. I've mentioned it in my other videos, but I can't help, like, I love audiobooks and they really help if I'm on the move or if I'm doing something like painting, dog walking. It's good to be able to read while you're on the move, but not having it on my bookshelf, I just love seeing it on there. It gives me affirmation. I'm like, yes, I've read this. And yeah, I just love having two copies. But if I do buy a physical copy that I have the audiobook of, then I buy it secondhand, so I feel less guilty. Okay, so the second one is finishing a book and immediately forgetting most of the details. Am I guilty of this? I don't think I am. No, I'm not guilty of this. I'm gonna say no, this is not a red flag for me. Actually, no, I remember details of books that I've read over a year ago, so yeah, no, that's not one for me. Buying multiple copies of the same book. I do not do this. I don't understand people that do, no judgment, but I just don't get it. I like all my books having the same cover, so theme. So I know like quite a few books they re-release, and then I would feel tempted if I got like an old book by accident. Let's say series 1 is a 5-book series and I've got 1 to 4 in the old book style, but then I order the newest book and it comes in a new book style. That may grind my gears and I may be inclined to return that book and try and get the old version. But I don't think I could justify buying 2 books of the same just because of the cover. I just couldn't do it. So that is not, that I'm actually surprised. Okay, we're only at 1 out of 3 so far, so I'm pretty impressed with that. A mood reader who can't follow their TBR. Guilty. Yes, yes, yes. I am so bad at this. And it's made me not want to do like, oh, what I plan to read this month, because I've done that once and I did not stick to it. I just can't help go with my mood. Like, I just go with the flow. I have a plan in motion and I'm like, yeah, I want to read this, this and this. But then I just walk past my shelf and I'm like, oh yeah, that one. Or when I finish a book, it makes me in the mood for another book. Do you know what I mean? Like if you're reading a fantasy, romance, like I feel like I'd be on like a romance high or like a fantasy high. So I'd have to try and read another one. And the book length also has a big impact on this. Like if I'm reading a really long book, but then I can't be bothered to pick up the next book, which is really long, I'll go to a short, like a 300-page book. So yeah, no, I am guilty of that. I sample a page or 2 of a book I'm thinking of buying because if I don't like those pages, I won't get it. I sometimes do this, like if I'm in a bookshop, I will read the blurb and probably the first page, in all honesty, actually. And if it's not hitting the spot, I won't buy it. But then I feel like that's really bad because there's so many books I love that I've ended up loving after halfway, and it's got me into the whole series. So I feel like that is bad, but I am guilty of that if I'm buying in a bookshop. So yes, I would say that is a red flag. And that's not a good one either. I'd like to get out of that habit. Okay, buying more books even though I have no space for them. Guilty. Who doesn't do this? I mean, if you're someone that doesn't do this, I salute you. It's impossible. It's just so hard. And it's just addictive. And I feel like if I don't buy it, I'll forget it. Or it will add to my like TBR list on Goodreads or Storygraph. And then there's so many on there and there's no way I'm going to read all of them, so I forget them. So I feel like if I don't buy it, I'm not committing to the read. So yeah, I'm guilty. If the book cover doesn't draw me in, I most likely won't even think about reading it. Again, this is different. If I get recommended a book, then the book cover, I don't care. Like, I will go in for it. But if I haven't been reviewed, like recommended it by someone, I'm probably hello. I probably am likely to judge the book cover. Like if it looks old and tacky, but then some of them are really good. Okay, I'm amber flagging this. I don't always do it. It's rare that I judge the book cover, but I have done. Okay, making a monthly TBR list but never sticking to it. See, this relates to the fourth one that we spoke about. And yes, we've already discussed, I'm guilty of this. Okay, getting influenced by any Booktok review, even silent reviews. I am influenced by a lot of Booktok. Definitely. Like if someone's hyping up the book and I'm feeling their energy on there, I'm like, yes, I'm adding it to the TBR. Or I'm buying it there and then. And I am guilty of a hype, and I wish I wasn't, but I can't help it, and I have FOMO. Like if everyone's loving it, I'm like, I need to get a piece of that. Okay, buying an entire series before reading the first book. Yes, I have done this. How many times? I've done this 3 times, only 3 times. And yeah, it's pretty crazy. Can you imagine? And the biggest book series I've done it for is 8 books. But I do it because there's always deals. If it's cheaper than buying 1 book at a time, like by 30 quid or something. So I'm like, I need to do it to save £30. But then it is so toxic because what if you hate the first book, then you've got 7 books and then you feel like you're committed. And then the author's already got your money and you might hate the books. But yeah, I do it. Okay, skipping to a random page and reading it. Who does this? No! If you do this, please tell me why. No. That's some psycho behaviour. No judgment though. But can you imagine that? What if there was a massive spoiler on that page? That stresses me out. No, I could not do that. I am guilty of sometimes when you're so excited and you're reading a page and something really gripping's going on and your eyes skip to the next page without reading it because you're so anxious, and then you're like, oh my God, and then you see the spoiler. I have done that multiple times. I feel like you can't help doing that, but never just a random page, like flipping open a book. I've not done that. Okay, waits to write reviews and forgets half the plot. Okay, I know I said it wasn't a red flag earlier for something similar to this. However, I will say I'm guilty of this and I'm improving this year. Sometimes I am really late to write the reviews and I get the gist of it and I remember what I liked about it, but the general plot, like some elements I miss. Like sub-storylines. So again, I'm going to say amber flag. I don't think I'm fully too bad at this one. So yeah, amber, but I do sometimes have that issue. Okay, has a mile-long physical TBR, but continues to buy new books. Similar to previous one, but yes, guilty, guilty, guilty. I wish I could be that one of those persons that's like, I'm going on a book buying ban and I'm only going to read books I have. I'd struggle. It's like an addiction. And definitely if you go into a bookshop, I feel bad not buying a book. don't know why. But I'm not too bad. Yeah, no, I'm red flag with that. Okay, stops reading in the middle of a chapter. Now, I read books on the train and in bed, and if I get tired, or if my partner's like, I'm going to bed now, and the lights are out, and then I get sleepy, I'm more likely to forget stop reading mid-chapter. However, I don't do this regularly. But like, if you're on the train, you have no option. You have to finish the chapter. And I do read a lot of books on the train. So yes. But I do try to get to the end of the chapter. But I will say guilty. Because sometimes I read as well till my eyes are like, cannot keep open. So yeah, this is red flag. I'll say that's one of my red flags. Never Never DNFing a book and powering through because you're not a quitter. I would say 9 times out of 10 I'm like this, so I will say it's a red flag. However, I DNF'd my first ever book last year, and that was Priory of the Orange Tree. But again, in my head, I haven't DNF'd it. I feel like I will pick it up. I got halfway through as well, but it just didn't grip me. Oh, no, it did. And I did enjoy it when I read it, but then when I put it down, I wasn't like, I need to pick this back up, and then I ended up forgetting about it. So yeah, I would say it's a red flag, but I'm working on being DNFing is fine, but I have only ever done it once, and even then, that's tentative. Okay, looking up fan art and seeing spoilers. Hi, buddy. He's joined me today. Okay, sorry. Looking up fan art and seeing spoilers. Now, yes, I am guilty of this, so red flag, another red flag for me, because of my Pinterest. I just love making Pinterest boards, and it's only an issue if I'm making a pin board about a series. So like the Crown of Nyaxa series, I have a pin board for that, and before I finish the series, the Nightborn duology, I'm putting fan art in there from the first book. But then that book came out, and I was seeing fan art for the new book because obviously my algorithm, and I did lead some spoilers. And I have had this with Outlander as well, and that's a really long book series, but I have an Outlander Pinterest board, and I'm only on book 6, and yeah, that has led to some spoilers for me as well. So yes, guilty. Okay, sits down to read and spends 3 hours on Bookstagram. No, if I'm sitting down to read, my phone is away. Like I just don't have my phone near me. And if I do, I don't go on Instagram. It's to like look up meanings of words. If I see a word I haven't heard of before, I don't really get the meaning in the context of the sentence, I'll look that up. But other than that, no, I'm not on Bookstagram when I'm reading. Getting more attached to books I own when I accidentally damage them. Yes. Why do we get like this? Like, it's just a book. The book's still fine, but oh my god, when it gets ruined, it pains me. I don't know what it is. I don't know. They're like children. No, they're not. That's extreme. Really, I shouldn't, because once if you can still read it, it's fine. But I just get agitated and obsess over it being destroyed. Like, I started to read Love Redesigned. It's my last read of 2023, and I put it in my bag, and I had Rubicon, and the cap wasn't on properly, and it got saturated in Rubicon. And you know when a book gets wet and then dries and it's all crinkled and it's stained because it was Rubicon, and yeah, it just looks pretty minging now, but I can still read it all and it was fine. But like, when it happened, I got stressed out, and like, if I tear a page, but I'm trying not to get too icked at that. But I do get attached to the book, and I do want it to look pretty, but I'm one of those people that I don't really care about the spine getting all weird, so I really shouldn't care, but I would say this is a red flag. Anywho, moving on. Okay, staying up till early hours of the morning to read. Guilty. 100%. Oh, what is the latest I've ever stayed up? 5 a.m. Yeah, 5 a.m. And then I didn't even get to finish the book, so I didn't sleep much, and then I woke up and I continued reading it. Sometimes you just can't put a book down. Can you relate? Like, it's just too good. Oh, Definitely as well, if it's a book club read and I'm late for the deadline, I will stick to that deadline and I will stay up late reading. So yeah, guilty. Okay, we're on to the last 3. So, buying books without knowing the plot. Oh my God, guilty. I've only done this a few times, but again, this is the issue with buying books of the hype on Bookstagram, Booktube, like mainly Booktok, because you're just getting an influx of constant, quick reviews and recommendations. And I have been guilty of that a couple of times because of FOMO. And that is not good. I shouldn't be buying books that I don't know the plot about, but I am guilty of it. Oh God. Okay, only reads books with romance. I'm not guilty of this. But I will say 8 out of 10, like 80% of my books are romance. So I will amber flag this. Because I just love a romance. Who doesn't love a romance? And they're so easy to read. That's the thing. Like if I don't want something deep and I want some spice, or I want some like banter and nothing crazy and no one's gonna die. So, to be fair, some romances, they do die. Oh my God. One Day, have you read that book? That book destroyed me. But yeah, I would say amber flag. I am 80% romance, but then 20% I have got books without any romance in, so, or like a smidgen, it's not the main plot. Okay, last one. Starting a new book even though you haven't finished the last one. Yes, I am guilty of this, but I feel like if you're part of a book club, it's okay to have this book red flag because you're going to be reading more than one book at once. But I read like 5 books on the go because I'm a mood reader and I just have different locations I read. So like I have train books, I'll only read on a train. So like my Outlander series, I read, if I'm on a train, I'll bring an Outlander book. I have my bed book. So, and that stays by my bed and I read it in bed. Then I have books that I read about the house and they're my casual books and I'll pick them up. So, and then I have my Booktok book, like my book club books. So I do have a lot of books on the go and I will start a new book when I'm halfway through or whatever a book. So yeah, I am guilty of that. Is anyone else? So yeah, that was 22 bookish red flags. I don't actually know how many, I'll put the total here, but I don't know how many were red flags. I don't think it was too bad. I think half. I think I did get at least 11 there. That's not too bad, I don't think. But how many did you? You should tally up how many red flags you related to. But yeah, that was quite fun. So yeah, that's the video. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, give it a likes up, thumbs up, likes up. I'm not with it today. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.